Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Valecast. My name is Cyril. Today, I'm joined by Callum. Say hello, Callum.
Hello, Simo. How are we?
Very well, mate. Very well. I'll just say it before we properly get started. This show is brought to you every single week by Motive. We are here for you Thursdays and Fridays, depending on our midweek's fixture, if we have one. At 7:30, please like and subscribe to the video. We need to talk about our midweek fixture, our semi-final, Callum. And if you've noticed, we're not too upbeat. I'm really finding it hard because we suffered a bit of a signal. Do you want to start us off, Callum, and how our match went?
It's a funny match. Obviously, it ended in defeat for the Vale, unfortunately, 3-0 for Martin. So, first and foremost, best wishes to them for the final up against Banks of D. So, obviously, we would have loved to have been the name in the hat for that, but such is life, such is life. I mean, I think really the easiest way of summing up the game, they were clinical. We didn't take our chances, I suppose, would be the best way of saying it. I mean, 1-0 half time could have very easily been 3-4-1 at the Vale, to be honest with you. Second half, the second goal was a disappointment in particular for Craig. I think he was quite vocal talking about that after the match. Just the Martin player just able to kind of breeze through from midfield and get the goal away early in the second half, which kind of killed any momentum we were hoping to build up. But and you can ignore the third goal. Obviously, it still counts, of course, but by that stage we were chasing the game and had the centre halves up front and everything like that. So
yeah, we put Guinness up front, didn't we?
Yeah, kind of disregard that third one. But chances cleared off the line. A cross that went through the keeper's hands onto the post and straight back into his hands that on another day bounces into the corner of the net. So
yeah, Grant Noble's 1-on-1.
Grant Noble 1-on-1 over the bar from I think it was a bit of a it was
Rory. I think it was.
I think it was Grant that popped it over, but it was a bit of a scramble and came to him quickly. So those ones can go either way, but. Yeah, just nothing went in. That was the problem, And
yeah,
you said yourself after the match, when that's, when those chances don't hit the back of the net, you just know it's not your night, and it just wasn't our night, unfortunately.
Well, I think it was just after it came off the line, and me and you we were stood by the side and we were doing our media stuff, and I think I just said to you, when they don't go in, it just feels like it's not going to be our night. I mean, I counted 2 really big chances for us in the first half that on another day go in, and then maybe 3 or 4 in the second half. Grant Noble should have had a hat trick by every sort of right. I mean, the header off the line was a proper signal.
Yeah, it just wouldn't.
We were very much the front foot at that point, weren't we?
And something, I think up until the first goal going in, in I think it was about the 30th minute, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We were, it started out quite even. I think the first few minutes we had a couple of balls through and stuff, and we were kind of restricting for Martin to playing long balls over the top, which Innes and James were kind of dealing with really well.
Just ate them up every time, didn't they?
Just really looked in control. I think that's one of the most frustrating things. A 3-0 scoreline looks as though it was, not quite a mauling, but it looked as though it was a comfortable night for Martin. When in actual fact, it really wasn't. It's just the difference between putting it between the sticks and under the crossbar and not. So, yeah, ultimately a sickener. I think that's the easiest way of describing it, isn't it? Just a really good opportunity to get to a cup final and a good opportunity to potentially go all the way. But we'll come back again next year. It's a competition we always enjoy. You get the opportunity to play against teams out with the Highland League as well, but still kind of localish to where we are. So it's a really good setup, a well-run competition, and I'm hopeful that we'll see our name on that trophy in the not too distant future. But I mean, I would point maybe just a single out Grant Noble for a second. I thought that yes, he had some chances that maybe on another day go in, but on the whole, I think his performance was absolutely fantastic on Wednesday night. I was speaking to Stuart McPherson after the game, and we agreed he kind of rolled back the years really. Having been a striker for a long period of time himself, he kind of settled into more of a attack-minded midfield role for the Vale. Just through availability and injuries, unfortunately, we had to ask him to be the centre forward on Wednesday night. And, he put in a really, really good shift, chasing down defenders, putting them under pressure, not giving them a minute. And all his performance needed was a goal or two just to back that up. So, big praise to him. As always, very, very impressed by the centre halves as well. I thought Innes and James were really comfortable all night, to be honest with you. Take away the goals, I thought they had a fantastic night's work. Ross Aitken driving the boys on right until the final whistle as well. So, some really, really good performances. I thought Robbie Allen actually played really well. Obviously, Robbie's no spring chicken now, but playing out on more of a kind of left wing role that he was. I thought he put in a really good performance as well. So yeah, I think across the team, the boys can be proud of where we've got to. I appreciate we only had maybe the one game to get to a semi-final, but we got there regardless, and I think that they certainly didn't disgrace themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
The scoreline might say.
You can only play what's in front of you. I mean, we should probably talk about the goal. So the first goal we conceded is from a set piece, and it's disappointing because we don't really need to give away that set piece at the time. And then the second one
is a bit of a miscommunication. I think between Sean and Ross that saw that one go out for the corner in the first place, and then in it comes a free header. I know that there'd been kind of maybe the question, could Sean have come for it? I think it's easy to look back and say yes, maybe, but ultimately it was a free header within the 6-yard box, so that's not good enough as a starting point. So disappointing goal to lose, especially as I say when the momentum was kind of going in our favour, and obviously it was then kind of setting the tone for the rest of the first half. And then the second goal, obviously, I'll let you kind of maybe talk a wee bit about that one, Simon.
So the second goal was a drive and run from midfield all the way into our box, and it's put by Sean. And this is Sean made some really big saves over the 90 minutes. I'd say their biggest chances Sean actually saved, minus the second one. I mean, it was just it wasn't really. I don't really think it was a fault of Innes or James and the centre back roles. He just had the Formartine player just had far too much time in the ball. It was a drive and run. I mean, someone needs at a certain point that player needs to run into a bit of traffic. But it was a wee bit too easy. I think Craig was particularly disappointed with that goal because we kept it 1-0 was an easier scoreline to chase, but we were keeping it tight. We looked better. We had the better of the chances in the first half. I mean, I'd probably argue we did in the second half as well. But yeah, I mean, it was far too easy. It was a really, really disappointing goal to concede. That second one, it has to be said. But these are the things we need to work on, and
that was something that we both kind of noticed. I think, wasn't it, that kind of from defence to midfield or coming back the way from midfield to defence, just wasn't always there. There wasn't that kind of one person getting in the way, stopping those runs coming through. And yes, as I say, we had a bit of a reshuffle with some boys being away, or obviously we had like Dane who was out injured. But they're just that kind of holding midfield player just wasn't always there to kind of block those runs, unfortunately. I mean, I would agree with what you're saying about Sean as well. I think he can be very pleased with his night's work. There's not a lot of keepers will come off the field, conceding 3, and could have been a man of the match contender, to be honest with you. In particular, the save from Johnny Smith's header. I think before the second goal, actually, it was as well, that kind of header that it looked as though it was in. I thought it was in when I first saw it, and he kind of produced kind of reminded me of David Seaman in the FA Cup against Sheffield United all those years ago. Just managed to get the glove on it and kind of claw it off the line. It must have been hella close, to going in. So, big saves. That was just one of them. And disappointing that his performance, counts for nothing, I suppose, in the end. But the third goal, as I say, it's kind of one you can kind of discount to a certain extent. It's still a goal against, so
I mean,
it'll still go down in the records. But
for folks that were at the match at the point, it was really, I think it was like 89th, 90th sort of minute, and Innes, the biggest centre back, had been sent to an up front position and stuff like that. So it was really, but it's a final. You don't get a second chance. So you've got to go for it. So obviously we were wide open.
There's no point holding on. there's no point holding out for a 2-0 defeat in a semi-final. You're as well throwing the kitchen sink at it, and that was the case. And my old mate from Football Boys Club days, Daniel Park, was the one that scored the third goal. So yeah, he'd come off the bench not long before that, I don't think. So had that wee bit more energy to kind of turn what was left of the defence inside out and pop it into the corner of the net. So yeah, I mean, as I say, on a different day, those chances that we had, we could have come away from that. Well, even the same performance, we could have come away with a 4-2, 5-3, whatever win. But unfortunately, as I say, for Martin, we're clinical with their opportunities, and you could argue that we were a bit wasteful. So yeah, it is what it is. We move on. Obviously the excitement was there, but we're back to league duty this weekend, away to Clach. So the boys have got to put Wednesday night behind them, forget about it. We move back onto the league, trying to work our way back up the table again. Having what are we now? Two games undefeated in the league now, or whatever it is. 3 games undefeated, I don't know, but we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, our league form is picking up a wee bit. We are slightly, slowly but surely moving up that league table. We're up to 11th place now. Forest Mechanics in front of us, and 10th. So yeah, we just need to focus on the league. And we've got we're still in the Scottish Cup as well, which we're playing about a week's time. I mean, I will say, like, with the performance we put in with missing Dane and Sam Robertson was exceptional. I mean, I think with those players in the pitch, we maybe get over the line. I mean, we have a fresh Grant Noble to put on later in the game, or we have a Grant Noble in midfield. Maybe that changes the game for us a little bit.
That's the thing. The kind of core, the core of players weren't always there. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what if? But Dane up top. Robert Scott was away. Sam Robertson had picked up a knock, so he stayed on the bench. Kyle Willocks has only just come back from isolating through COVID, so he started on the bench and came on for Kev Adams, who I thought had a really
really good
as well. Actually, I was really impressed with Kevin. He's come back from injury. He had a wee loan spell away a couple of seasons ago now, just to kind of give him a bit of match sharpness. You can see a big difference in him physically. I was saying to Kev Stewart before the game, he was looking a different animal to what we'd seen maybe a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah,
he's very vocal throughout the evening. Big presence at the back line. So really, really happy to see Kev come back in, because he's been around the Vale for a long time now as well. So a great character in the squad as well. But Matty Wallace, who had been one of the best players on the pitch in our previous game against Strathspey, he was unavailable. So yeah, it was a bit a cobbled together side to a certain extent. I mean, not that's no disrespect to the boys that were on the pitch, because they've all got experience of playing for the Vale. It wasn't as though we'd had to throw on the majority of the under-20s team or whatever. We had first team experience right the way through. But yeah, for Martin, we're just that wee bit stronger maybe. Used their possession well. A couple of the players on loan from Aberdeen performed quite well as well. I quite liked the battle that Roscoe had with Kevin Hanratty. That was a good one to watch, a good matchup between them. So yeah, it was a good game. Obviously, once it kind of went 2-0, you're starting to chase the game a wee bit more as well, which maybe ruins it from a Vale kind of fan perspective, I suppose. But yeah, it was on the whole, I would say it was an entertaining game, worthy of a semi-final. And as I say, we wish for Martin all the best going forward, and also to Banksy as well, of course. And hopefully that'll be an entertaining final as well when it comes along. But no, I'm really looking forward to the Scottish Cup game now. Appreciate, obviously, we've got Clach on Saturday, so that'll be a good trip up the road, and hopefully come back down the road again with the 3 points. But yeah, really looking forward to having Haddington Athletic come up. It's a team we don't know too much about, so it's always a nice way of finding out a wee bit more about some of the teams from further south. So yeah, looking forward to that, and we'll have the same kind of match day media available for supporters who are not able to come down on the day. Hopefully we can get a good crowd. The Scottish Cup's always a good one to come out to. But yeah, we will do our usual and keep you abreast of everything right the way through on Twitter and Facebook and everything like that. So yeah, that's where we're at, I suppose, just now.
Absolutely. Clattenacudden, sitting fourth in the table, having a very, very positive season. It's not by no means an easy match for us. Obviously, we've had the midweek fixture as well. So it's one of those. If we can go there and get a point, I think that's a positive result for us, considering how strong they've been this season. They've only lost twice the entire season, and they're chasing chasing pack for that sort of
they've
second
had a
and
very
third
good
place.
start. Yeah, very good start from Clack this season. So, they have had, they've had a couple of tough games. They've had maybe some more favourable ones as well. I've, keep seeing their strikers popping up, banging in the goals. So, yeah, it's important for us that we recover from Wednesday night. As I say, I'm not sure if there are any knocks or anything picked up. I know, Ross had picked up an injury, in the second half and battled through. So hopefully he's available for Saturday. The last word is that we expect Dane to be back for Saturday as well. He just kind of,
for us,
just kind of failed a late kind of fitness check in with the doctor on Wednesday. But the kind of estimation was that he would be available for Saturday. So hopefully see him back, and maybe Sam Robertson, Matty Wallace. These guys will be back in the squad as well, hopefully. So yeah, we go there with with confidence that we can take the result and take the points. So yeah, it's never an easy place to go. I would say that they're a good side up there, but if we can go up and put in a good shift, then no reason why we can't be coming down the road with the points.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, so that's going to do us for this week's Valecast. Bit of a sober one, this one, but we're still the season's not over. We've still got plenty of positive things to look forward to. The Scottish Cup being one, and we would play a side we've not really played before, I don't think. So we'll see you next week. Make sure you like and subscribe to the video. Thank you for engaging in all the socials, all the videos we're putting up, etc. Received over 1,000 views in each one of them as well, which is great stuff to see. And thank you for engaging in all the socials as well with your positive attitudes. The positive attitude on the Facebook. When we were at the game.
That's what we were saying at half time.
Yeah.
I was so heartened, and I know a game's not played on Facebook. And we're not going to win a game based on Facebook comments or anything like that. But to see the support that the boys had from people from who were at the game and also from afar, those comments are important. It's not just us that read them. It's good. It's good to see the support for the boys, and getting them over the line, hopefully, in the next game. So, please keep up the positive attitude. That's the only way that we're going to, improve. That's the only way that the boys are going to be able to put in a good shift. If we've got supporters there, roaring them on, even better. But if not, then roaring them on digitally is just as good.
Absolutely. Okay, until we see you next time. Cheerio, bye.